From May 25th to July 12th, I traveled through Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, and Amsterdam. I was gone for, just shy of 2 months, 7 weeks pretty much exactly, and so naturally I had to bring some stuff with me in order to survive and enjoy the trip, and that is what this video is about. This video is being filmed on July 13th, so I just got back yesterday, therefore my bag is still packed. And so how about we just jump into the unpacking of that bag, so that way whenever you go on your epic Europe trip, you know what to pack.
National Park, Norway!
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is that backpack that you saw in the video. This is a JanSport Equinox 40. It's the only bag I packed on this trip, and some people might be like, that's pretty small for 7 weeks, but it actually ended up being kind of perfect. I was actually very impressed by this backpack. I've had it for a couple years, but I just never really used it much. And right before the trip, I couldn't decide I was going to take this backpack or a bigger backpack. I decided on this smaller one because I was like, well, I don't want to check my bags. I'd rather just have my bag be a carry-on, and that way, I won't have to worry about possibly losing my bags while I'm over in Europe. And I made the right decision because this bag, even though it is small, with some of the techniques that I put forth, cramming stuff in my bag, like it works really well. And so, the JanSport Equinox 40 backpack, it turned out to be a really good bag for me. I'll leave a link for it in the description below. And so, honestly, I would recommend it for pretty much any kind of trip you're wanting to go on. Honestly, I would say that if you're planning a trip to Europe, packing small is gonna be better than packing big, just because I saw a lot of people in the airports I was at asking like, hey, where are my bags? They got lost. Like, did they get lost? Where are they? I didn't have any of that trouble because I just took this as my bag for the regular plane area. I just put it above my seat and everything was good. Now, before I actually unpacked the bag, I will say I brought like one warm kind of jacket, and I got hiking boots and jeans and all that stuff. I actually wore that stuff on travel days, so if I was moving from one country to the other, like on trains or something, and I had all my stuff with me, I wore the hiking boots and the jeans and the jacket on all of those things because I couldn't fit that stuff in my bag. So I would advise you, if you have any like clothes or things that are kind of bulky but you really need to take them, probably just wear them on your travel days and take them off when you get to your hotel room or whatever. That's what I did. I had my tennis shoes packed in the bag itself, as you'll see, and obviously all my other stuff, but yeah, hiking boots I just wore whenever I needed to wear them on travel days, and so I would advise you to do the same if you're taking a similar bag to mine. Now, I will also say that I didn't put this in my bag, but I took a money belt over there in Europe, and it actually turned out to be really good. This is a Dietet money belt. I'll leave a link in the description for it, and I just stored my passport and my wallet and cash in here, and you just kind of put it around your waist, and you put your shirt over it, obviously, and it's a good way to ensure that you don't get pickpocketed and lose the very documents that could get you home. And so I would recommend getting something like this if you're going to be traveling abroad, just to be safe. So I would say this was also a good investment. Now, for the actual stuff in the bag itself, let's first open the big compartment, the biggest pocket here on my bag. Let me find the zippers first. Okay, here we go. So I've got Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Why? Because I wanted to read the final Lord of the Rings book in some epic terrain. Best place to read Lord of the Rings was Norway because it looked like Middle-earth. So this obviously doesn't really have to do with what you're interested in this video for, but I would say if you are a fan, bring a Lord of the Rings book when you go to Norway. It's a souvenir, Ordinary Men. I made sure to have a place for this. I got this in Dachau, Germany. Okay, yeah, so I packed my tennis shoes here, and I kind of like crammed them in here at the top of the bag like that. These are just Nike tennis shoes. And this is dirty clothes, trash bag style. But as far as stuff that you need to buy, this is a microfiber towel. I would recommend bringing one of these if you're going to do a backpacking trip in Europe, because some places you stay at, some hostels, they may not provide you with towels, or if you're going to be going camping, you will probably need a towel if you're going to go like swimming or something like that. And a microfiber towel like this is really good to have because, number one, it's really small, compact, and it dries out pretty quickly. I definitely thought this was a good investment to make, and so I'll leave a link in the description for it. But yeah, a microfiber towel, not a bad idea if you're going to be backpacking for an extended period of time. Okay, next thing in the bag this here was one of the best investments I made when preparing for this trip. Because, you know, as you can see, this bag is small, it is compact. And I was like, well, how am I going to fit all my clothes in there? Packing cubes, guys. Packing cubes are a great idea, and I'm going to show you how I utilize the packing cubes to their full potential and how I managed to get all the clothes I needed into this bag. So without further ado, let me just show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So I got the Vecken 6 unit packing cubes on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description for it. But these were really handy when it came to organizing my bag and just making everything easy to get out and back in without too much of a hassle. Really fantastic investment. This is the biggest packing cube in the set. I'll show you some of the other cubes that I used. I didn't use the entire set, but this was the biggest and most important bag for me. I packed my shirts, shorts, socks, some underwear, sleeping bag, all that stuff in here. And I'm not going to go through exactly how many clothes I packed, but I packed, I guess like 7 t-shirts, or 7 shirts, 2 being long sleeve, a lot of socks, like 15 or 16 pairs of underwear, I wore a pair of jeans, packed a pair of jeans. Anyways, I got a lot of clothes in here. And I would advise you, if you're going to be going on an extended trip, get these packing cubes and watch some of the videos I leave in the description of this video on how to roll your clothes for compact packing. Because I packed shirts this way, like this right here, this little roll here. This is 2 shirts rolled up. Really handy. This is a long sleeve shirt. I just managed, this is just 1 or 2 shirts together. I managed to get all the clothes I needed pretty much into this one packing cube. I brought another packing cube for clothes as well that I put some extra underwear in, but this was like the central packing cube I used, and I legit got like pretty much everything I needed clothes-wise in here. And so the Vecken packing cubes that I got were a great investment, and the idea to roll my clothes for compact packing was another great idea in combination with the the cubes themselves. So I would say definitely get your hands on some packing cubes, whether they be the ones I got or some others, because there's plenty of options for these. All I know is that they are a good idea. I will say one thing before I move on to some of the other stuff in my bag. me and my cousin were on this trip together, and he kind of let me borrow this compact sleeping bag. I never actually used it on the trip because we stayed in hostels and hotels, mostly. And so I can't really say whether or not this is a great sleeping bag or not, but there are options for compact sleeping bags that you can get that will fit in a thing like this. And so if you're going to be like going camping or in Norway or something like that, then obviously look into options for this. But I can't really speak very authoritatively on the sleeping bag situation for long-term backpacking in Europe because I didn't use the sleeping bag. All right, other stuff in my big compartment here. Yeah, this is the other packing cube I was talking about that I stored some extra underwear in. Again, great investment. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else in there. Actually, the only thing I have packed in this large compartment is, as you can see here, maybe you can see this, there is like a one of those pockets that's like on the back of the bag that's like, you can put like a book in or a magazine in. And when I was in Freetown, Christiania, Copenhagen, it's like the anarchist district where like everybody's smoking weed, graffiti is everywhere, and you feel like you're in a freaking movie with every kind of character you would want to hang out with in a movie. Yeah, that place. When I was there, I picked up maybe the coolest souvenir I could possibly find, which was a comic book made by a local artist who lives in Christiania, who has an art store, that freaking cool art store. But yeah, I picked up this Danish comic book. It's all in Danish, so I can't really read it. I'll probably translate it at some point. But suffice to say, I made sure that I got enough room in my bag to carry this with me after Copenhagen and eventually home, because this is like freaking hilarious. I mean, it says here on the back, "Rule and joint, bro," with the boat and everything. And so, yeah, I would say that you don't need to pack this because you can't for your trip. But if you do go to Freetown, Christiania in Copenhagen, maybe pick one of these up or pick something up there. All I know is that you should go there because it was one of the coolest experiences of the entire trip. So that's just a recommendation. Take it or leave it. All right, next pocket in the bag, I had this stored here. This was also part of that Vecken, packing cube set. This was a handbag, so I would take this on the planes or trains, and I pretty much just used this bag for my phone chargers and a couple books. I brought a compact Bible with me. I brought Meditations by Marcus Aurelius with me. I brought this little journal thing with me. All right, next pocket in the JanSport Equinox 40 bag was this outer pocket, and here I pretty much just stored like my small little souvenirs. Like this is a shot glass from Norway, and this is a business card from the artist I bought the comic book from in Freetown, Christiania. And yeah, I mean, it's just another good pocket with a little extra space. I stored my beanie in here at one point. I don't have the beanie with me anymore. I left it in like a hotel somewhere. But yeah, it just it was a good good pocket that I just kind of put random stuff into. The next thing you absolutely should invest in. It's a small investment and it's a genius one if you're going to be backpacking in Europe or anywhere for that matter for an extended period of time. You should invest in a collapsible water bottle. Let me get closer so you can see this. But these collapsible water bottles, I got this from Walmart. The brand is just says outdoor products or just outdoor. I'll find a link for some version of this and I'll leave it in the description for you. But all it is, and it's really neat, is you just you fill up your water and you can drink or whatever, and you just put it in this outer pocket like I did. This is 1 liter. But what's so cool is that for packing purposes, you can just like freaking roll it up and you can just stuff it in your bag and no problem. And so like I honestly, of all the things I bought for this trip, I bought this like a day before going on the trip. I mean, it was a great like really great investment. Like because one of the things you'll notice in Europe is like you have to buy water everywhere. It's so weird. They tax your piss and they tax water there. Like it's so weird. They've got like healthcare and all that, but for some reason they tax you to go pee. I don't know what the idea is there, but whatever the case may be, the collapsible water bottle was a great investment because if you do have to pay to go to a restroom, you're not going to have to go pay for water because you can just open up your collapsible water bottle, fill it up with tap water, and then leave and kind of get more than your money's worth, you know, by entering the restroom for 50 cents, but leaving with, you know, $3 worth of water. All right, other things to invest in if you're going on a Europe trip for an extended period of time. This is a Frogs Togs rain jacket. Now I mostly bought this because I was worried about Norway. As it turns out, when we went to Norway, we didn't actually have like hardly any rain for like the week and a half that we were there, which was amazing because the forecast said it was going to be a deluge every day, but it didn't. Whatever the case may be, I still had this Frog Togs, you know, roll up rain jacket. It's really thin, it's not super fashionable, but it really did come in handy in places like Germany or other places where it would just like downpour. Just pull this out of your bag and put it on and you're safe from the rain. And then whenever you're done with it, you just fold it up or roll it up, put it back into this little bag, and then put it, you know, in this little side net compartment here, and then you're good to go. I mean, it was a good investment. This was like 15 bucks, so I'll leave a link for it in the description below, but yeah, I would recommend it if you're gonna be outside a lot on your travels. All right, other things I packed in the bag. In this side pocket here, I had my swimsuit rolled up, and yeah, that was the only thing I had in that slot. And then on the opposite side, same type of pocket, I had my toiletries. I would pack my toiletries in like a Ziploc bag. So I had some flosser sticks, toothpaste, Vaseline. I've got my combs, turquoise one for the hair, brown one for the beard. I didn't have a beard at the beginning, but obviously at the end of the trip I had quite the beard. And also toothbrush, of course, because if you don't brush your teeth for 2 months in Europe, you come home without teeth, and I didn't want that to happen, and it didn't happen because I cleaned my mouth. I don't even know what I'm talking about now, but I guess the only other thing I should say is you do want to bring a toenail or fingernail clipper. 3 weeks into the trip, I was like, man, why did I not bring my fingernail clipper? And I went through some painful days walking around with super long toenails and long fingernails, but bought one of these in Berlin, and it was a great investment, obviously, from there on out of the trip because I didn't have to worry about my nails. And if you buy this sort of thing right before your trip, you know, anywhere you can buy it, you won't have to worry about your nails either. So I suggest that you do pack a fingernail clipper if you're going to be spending a long amount of time in Europe. You know, I guess I could talk about the hiking boots I packed and all that stuff, but I didn't buy those hiking boots. They were bought for me by my mother for my birthday a couple years ago. And honestly, I would just say that bring some hiking boots if you're going to go hiking. Find whatever hiking boots you think are good and buy those. Anyways, though, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for this video. But if you have any questions on what was discussed in this video as far as packing, please leave your comments and questions in the comment section below, and I will make sure to get back to you. And if you have any other questions like regarding like where I went in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, or Amsterdam, and you know, if you're looking for recommendations as to what you should see, please leave those questions in the comment section below as well, and I will make sure to answer them. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, please like it and subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and never forget this poem by Hans Christian Andersen. To move, to breathe, to fly, to float, to gain all while you give, to roam the roads of lands remote, to travel is to live.